All right, well, good morning, guys. Have a fun early morning adventure. As many of you know, if you've watched the last couple of mountain bike videos, I am trying to work towards attempting to climb the height of Everest, so 29,000 feet. And I've started to try to put a more strict training plan in place. And so one of the things that I'm going to be trying to do every 2 weeks is increase one of my single rides by 5,000 feet. And so today we're starting at 5,000 feet. We're going to try to climb 5,000 feet. We're heading towards Cold Creek and Monument Pass. We'll kind of see how high we can get and if snow stops us, and ultimately probably doing maybe a little bit up that direction and then maybe heading up the Star Lake Trail. So it should be a fun day out. It's actually a little bit colder than I thought this morning at about 7 a.m. I'm freezing down here without bringing a jacket, but we'll warm up pretty quick.
And for those of you that don't know, the reason that I'm trying to climb the height of Everest is I'm trying to raise money for cancer research through the American Cancer Society. And people have been donating already, which I'm so grateful for. Ian, Trudy, Kathleen, Peggy, and Andrew, thank you so much. We're working towards our goal of $1,000. I'm hoping to go past that as we go along with this challenge. But anyway, I will put a link in the description below for where you can go and donate if you would like. And yeah, thank you so much, guys.
And we got snow plants kind of popping up all over the place. So see how many I can find today. Let the climbing begin. There's number 2 of the day. I believe that's going to be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Wow. All right, we're getting there. All right, we're coming up to the hardest section of the Cold Creek Trail. All right, welcome to High Meadow. Wow. Might actually be a better call to head up to Monument, but I want to go and see at least if I can get up to this part where there's a really cool waterfall in the middle of the Star Lake Trail, so we'll head that way. Okay, so hour 10 minutes in and 1,700 feet on our way towards 5,000. So up at High Meadow, this is Cold Creek coming through, and we're overlooking towards Star Lake, Friel Peak, and then Trimmer Peak over there to the right. All right, I gotta walk across this sketchy bridge. So other than trying to ramp up my long ride every 2 weeks, I'm also at least 2 to 3 rides otherwise in the middle of the week, riding just at the end of the workday, trying to get 1,000 or 2,000 feet in as I can at a fast pace. And then on these long days, kind of riding a sustainable pace for what I'm doing. So I don't know, as you start to do the math and where, decide where you're going to try to do this challenge, it's, I don't know, tricky. You have to have a steep enough grade to get the elevation in quick enough over less miles, and then also not be too steep so you don't burn out too quick. So it's a hard balance. Yeah, there's no way we're getting too high today. Still plenty of snow up high. All right, well, we're up at about 8,100 feet. I am definitely encountering more snow patches like this, but I'm hoping to make it to that waterfall. We will see. All right, I could keep going. You can kind of see the trail continues over there on the other side here. This is normally where that waterfall is, but you can see this creek coming out down there. So it's under there. It just hasn't quite opened up on this north-facing slope. All right, we're 2,200 feet up. We're gonna turn around the Star Lake Trail, head down, and then go back up the Monument Pass Trail. I think that's maybe a little bit more west-facing, so maybe that's a little bit more melted out at this point. We'll see. All right, time to head down. We'll get comfortable on riding the snow. Thankfully, the snow hasn't gotten too soft yet, so a lot of these sections are quite rideable. Yeah, come on. Yeah. Nice. Of the Star Lake Trail, and it's got a lot of ways to go before it's melted out. That's okay. There's plenty of good stuff to ride. All right, here's the bridge. All right. Off to the Monument Pass Trail. Yeah, this is gonna be much better. Who knows? Maybe we'll make it to the pass. Wow, look at these trees. All right, we are coming up to Monument Pass, just over 8,800 feet, and I'm now linked up with the Tahoe Rim Trail. Now there's the basin to Star Lake. I'm not going to be getting there today, but it is beautiful up here. All right, well, a couple things have happened. We've hit Monument Pass. I tried to go a little bit further towards Star Lake, and it's a no-go. There's just too many mounds of snow to want to go through that. And the other unfortunate thing is that I just found out the limit of my electronic shifting. My battery just died. Thankfully, I'm stuck in not the easiest gear, not the hardest gear, so should be able to get down without any concerns. But that might mean I may not make my 5,000 feet of climbing because we're only at about 3,300, and I don't know that I'll want to do another steep climb in the gear that I'm in, but we'll see. It's time to head down. Oh man, it feels good to be standing on the pedals. Unfortunately, I can't get any speed up because I don't have the gearing for it right now. It's in more of a climbing gear, which is ultimately better for me. Just got to get in the flow state. Can't rely on the pedals. And we're to the sandy section. Back to Cold Creek at the top of Pine Meadow. And time to get into the spicy stuff. All right. All right, new bike had no trouble with that section. All right, new bike is handling this well. Nice. All right, new bike cleaned it. Heck yeah. Go. Morning.
Hey.
How you doing?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Have a good day. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm Bob.
Bob, have a good one. You too. Morning. All right, well, I made the call. I'm just gonna try to get home because on the flats I can barely move in this gear, and on the steep climbs it's too hard. So it's we'll just cut it short of the total $5,000 and call it good for today. We got plenty of time to do bigger rides. We're limping home, and we squeaked out 4,000 feet with a mechanical, so I think I'll take that for the day. All right, 25 miles, just over 4,000 feet in just over 4 hours. So I did a lot more just kind of cruising on the flatter stuff rather than just riding steeps today, so that's okay.